Now at 5, pushing back against protecting children from COVID in schools.
Yeah, today, Missouri Attorney General Eric Schmitt filed a lawsuit against school districts forcing a mask mandate on children and teachers. This comes as a teachers union calls for a vaccine mandate at St. Louis public schools. News 4 has team coverage for you tonight on these developments. We begin, of course, with our Gabriella Vidal, who just spoke with the Attorney General about his latest lawsuit. Gabby, tell us about that.
Yeah, of course, Lauren. I did ask the Attorney General why he would prevent school districts from enforcing mask mandates, especially in communities like St. Louis City and County, where COVID-19 cases, infections, and hospitalizations among children are rising. His answer? Missouri families should have the power to choose.
There have been no deaths under the age of 10. There's been 5 under the age of 18. Of the hospitalizations, 1 in 200,000 is a kid related to COVID. So you balance that with what we know is a growing body of evidence of potential psychological and emotional issues that kids suffer from having to wear a mask all day long and some of the learning difficulties. And so, but ultimately, this is about returning the power back to parents and families to make their own decisions.
Now, Schmitt tells me that mask mandates are a government overreach, but local school boards decide on mask policies and they are elected by voters in the district. I also asked Schmitt why shouldn't districts enforce masks if CDC and local health officials recommend them for everyone ages 2 and up. He says right now Missouri is number 2 in the decline of COVID-19 cases and doesn't believe the science supports children needing to mask up.
More kids die of influenza every year, in car accidents. We haven't seen this outcry from perpetual masking from government bureaucrats and politicians for influenza. So we know a lot more than we did a year ago. And I think it's appropriate for parents to be able to make those decisions.
Coming up at 6, I'll have reaction from local districts responding to the Attorney General's lawsuit. Gabriella Vidal, News 4.
Gabby, thank you very much. And of course, Missouri Democrats are responding this afternoon to that lawsuit. House Minority Leader Crystal Quaid releasing a statement today saying in part, quote, if Eric Schmitt successfully blocks local schools from adopting mask requirements, more Missouri children will get sick from COVID-19, forcing many school districts to return to remote instruction in order to contain outbreaks. This lawsuit might help Schmitt win a Republican U.S. Senate primary, she says, but it puts the lives and education of Missouri children in jeopardy. The head of the St. Louis Pandemic Task Force says there's very little information to back up Schmitt's claims that masking causes emotional problems and learning issues. Dr. Clay Dunnigan believes outbreaks that shut down schools are a more credible threat.
Taking appropriate precautions, including putting masks on kids in school, is effective at dramatically reducing transmission. And having a mask on at school interferes with education a lot less than having the school shut down and going to virtual.